What's up? Welcome back, Enchanters, to another unboxing of Iron Studios 1/10 scale X-Men vs. Sentinel Logan. Now, I have to be honest with you, I'm not the most excited for this piece. I think of all the pieces that have been announced, it was a bit redundant. We already got a Wolverine right here, and now we got a Logan. Now, would I be open to variants and other versions of the X-Men here or there? Maybe. But let's dive in. Now, I'm super duper excited to open him because he does look amazing. I did order this from Iron Studios. Don't tell me the price point. You can go check it out on ironstudios.com because I don't recall. And this has been out. This was released. This was announced. Sorry. This was announced in. It's been quite some time since this was announced. Over a year ago. So it's been a delay prior to receiving this one. Like, this was announced before Apocalypse, and we got Apocalypse before it. So this was announced at the same time Warpath was announced. So we ended up getting Havoc and Apocalypse way before this piece. So let's go ahead and dive in and cut this bad boy open. But before we even do so, let me introduce myself. My name is Jean-Pierre Bon Jovi. I'm a collector at heart. I collect anything 90s related. Reminds me of my childhood. I'm an Iron Studios collector, and I'm also a Disney Traditions collector, and I am a Disney retailer as well. You can check my link in description for my store, and you can also connect with me on socials by clicking the link in the description. But most importantly, the most important thing is don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found value. Comment below if you will be owning this, what your thoughts are on this piece, and most importantly, hit that notification button to subscribe and get notified every time I upload content every Monday and sometimes Thursdays. So without further ado, let's dive in. All right. Oh, I felt something shaking in there, like a little piece. Fingers crossed. Oh, okay, come through. I am so excited about this art box. Wow. Okay, so we have a beige art box. We haven't gotten one like this before. Okay, yay. I'm really appreciating this. He looks amazing too. So there's Logan as you zoom in on the details. It says worlds to collect here on the side. Then you have him zoomed out, the 1/10 version on the back. It says Logan on the top. And on the top it also says Logan in that navy blue denim color. Let's open this bad boy up. Now, I do own every single X-Men versus Sentinel Dio and 1/10 scale piece. I do have a video. I'll link it at the very end of this where you can experience the entire Dio behind me. I've been collecting these since they launched back in 2020 when they were originally announced. I started collecting them in December. And here we are today, right? 2 years later, still going strong at it. And Iron Studios recently stated on Facebook that they will be revisiting the series. I think there's still 6 pieces I need to get to complete it, but it seems as if they may be revisiting it. They are currently working on Age of Apocalypse, which I think was kind of like a distraction from this set. I will not be collecting that. I've said that in my previous videos, and I know many who will be. Alright, so always open this side forward where it says Iron Studios. Alright, ooh, okay, we got his claw. So his hands do come separate. Oh, so I already have a big disappointment about this. I'll state that in a bit. We got the base. Now, if we zoom in on that base, there is no edition size. So Iron Studios does not do edition sizes. How they do is themselves alongside their retailers, they'll set up pre-orders and they'll order a specific amount based on the pre-order amounts. And then they make maybe a little excess of some extra, but typically it's like when you think of Iron Studios, it's really made to order. And sometimes they do, if they do have a limit as well, and if it goes past the threshold, they're not going to make more than that limit, right? So, yep. Now, what does have an edition size are the dios. So the large dioramas, those do have an edition size. say, this looks amazing from the very little. Okay. The details on him look amazing. Okay, we're gonna dive into that in a moment. Let's take this down. So he's a very, very, very simple piece. He's gonna peg in, boom, keys in. It's also magnetized. We're gonna put both of his hands, and it's that simple. Wow. Now before we go ahead and do a 360 on this, I definitely want to experience this for myself. Oh, it looks amazing now. The eyes look incredible. The portrait looks amazing. There is a little wobble. I wish it was magnetized on this foot, that I will say. The jacket looks incredible. All right, let's zoom in on this bad boy. So I'm actually gonna put him right on top of this box. Let's do that. So as we zoom in on this, I mean, it looks absolutely incredible. I mean, the pose is striking. I mean, that is Logan for you. The musculature on his thighs, I mean, looks amazing. I love that his stature is short. His hair looks incredible. It's that civilian Logan outfit. I mean, it looks amazing. Now, in the images, his adamantium can be seen through the cuts of his forehead, and the paint is a little subtle, but I mean, you still see it. You have to look really closely. It's not as prominent, but it looks incredible. Now, he seems to be on top of a Sentinel leg. And again, I do like that it's proportioned to the other Sentinels. Again, there is that Easter egg that they keep doing on every piece, and that's Wolverine's claws there. This is the only excuse I'm going to give them the pass on it, because, I mean, it's Logan, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, I get it. Now, again, the details for this being a 1/10, as you all know, I mean, if you know Iron Studios, you know that there is no other studio house that does better 1/10 statues with the level of intricacy and detail that Iron Studios does. No one can compete. No one can come near. It looks absolutely breathtaking. Now, I will say what my biggest setback are his claws. So his claws, they're not made of metal. So the claws on the original one, they were made of metal. So they're also different colors. So these are metal. These are just made of what seems to be, it feels like plastic. It doesn't even feel like resin. I don't know what it is. As for the girth and length, they are the same length. But again, the original piece, they were made of metal. And that's a huge, I mean, even the color is distinct. When you look at the color, it's a completely different color. I mean, these are more opaque and matted. Obviously, these have that metal finish. So I'm very disappointed with that did not carry through into this piece. That's an element that should have been identical. And that's very, very disappointing. And for that alone, it's like you can't give this a perfect 10. So like, what do I rate this, right? Overall, I think the concept is absolutely gorgeous. His portrait is amazing. His costumes freaking, his civilian, ensemble is freaking amazing too. The problem I have with this is it's a repetitive piece. We didn't need it. I mean, we could have swapped this for Toad. Come on, Iron Studios. The metal claws, not that great. Now, I will say what I do love, and I did this with Warpath as well, is you could see the veins in his hands. So you see the bluish, greenish veins, and I think that's amazing that you see on his hands. On both of them, it looks incredible. The portrait looks spectacular. But unfortunately, because of that, just because it's a repeat, I'm kind of like over it. It's overkill. And we got another Logan. I have to say I'm going to give this piece a 7. If there's one piece of every piece that they have made that I would say pass on, it would be this one right here. There is also some inquiries regarding the Professor Xavier that was made, which is a con exclusive. It was not intended to go with this series. because it's a more modern take on Professor Xavier, and many collectors never got the original Professor Xavier. So that would be a great add-on, and you can add to this Dio, and it would still look great. It's just going to be a more modern take on Professor Xavier versus the yellow hover chair. So this piece, again, I think you could do without. It's unfortunate, but I have to say, I'm going to collect it because it's part of the Dio, and you don't need it. And it looks amazing, and if you're a Logan fan, obviously get it. And I think this is a piece that if you're a Wolverine fan, a Logan fan, you're going to want to own. Necessarily, if you own the Dio because you're creating a scene, again, he is going to look redundant. And then there's also that feedback with Dark Phoenix and with Jean Grey, right? Like, how can you have both of them in the same Dio? But I feel like that's so different because it's Dark Phoenix. And again, this would be a great piece to separate, like with Dark Phoenix, and create its own scene if we do end up getting dupes of other pieces of the same character, but like in a different outfit or their civilian outfit. So, again, incredible piece. Is it worth it? I'm giving this a 7 out of 10. I think this is one of the lowest ratings I've given just because the redundancy. So I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on this piece. Stay tuned for more content. I believe Spiral is the next piece coming. I have not gotten a confirmation, but I have seen a few collectors already receive her. Then we're getting X-23. We're then getting Dark Phoenix. We're getting Utigo and Domino as well. And I feel like there's one more I may be missing, but I think those are the last 5 that are expected to arrive to complete the Iron Studios collection. So they all are expected to arrive prior to this summer of 2023. So I'm super thrilled to bring you that content. You can go through my channel and you can experience every single one of these pieces, immersive review, my thoughts on them. Thank you for connecting, for finding me on the YouTube algorithm. Don't be a stranger. Hit that thumbs up button if you found value. Most importantly, subscribe so you can see further reviews. And until the next one, keep collecting, enchanters. Over and out.